Welcome to our channel, where we bring you the most amazing bedtime stories for kids. Make sure to subscribe for new stories every day. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a small and sleepy village, nestled between rolling hills, there lived a little girl named Emma. Emma was a bright and curious child with a heart full of wonder. Her eyes sparkled like tiny moons, reflecting the magic that filled her soul. She loved spending her days lost in the pages of fairy tale books, where talking animals and enchanted forests were just a page away. Emma's imagination was too big to fit inside her little house. It overflowed with dreams of faraway lands and exciting adventures. She longed to step into the enchanting tales she read about, to explore the mysteries hidden beyond her own backyard. But life in her quiet little town seemed rather ordinary. Days passed by without a hint of adventure, and Emma often wondered if the fantastical world she dreamed of would ever become her reality. As the weeks turned into months, a sense of disappointment began to settle in her heart. She started to believe that the adventures she craved might only exist within the covers of her storybooks. However, deep down, a tiny flame of hope refused to be extinguished. Maybe, just maybe, she thought, real adventures weren't confined to storybooks. Perhaps they were waiting just around the corner, hidden beneath the surface of everyday life. One day, a warm breeze carried the scent of blooming flowers as Emma skipped through her grandma's garden. It was a place filled with vibrant colors and the sweet melodies of singing birds. But today, curiosity led her to a spot she had never explored before. Behind a thicket of rose bushes, she discovered a clearing bathed in sunlight, and there in the center stood a giant oak tree. Its branches stretched towards the sky like welcoming arms. The tree seemed to hum with an energy that sent shivers down Emma's spine. As she approached the tree, she noticed something peculiar. Carved into its rough bark was a door, a real door, complete with a shining brass knob. Above it hung a wooden sign adorned with intricate carvings. When Emma stepped closer, she could make out the words, "Only brave hearts may enter the forest of talking animals." Emma stood frozen, her heart pounding in her chest. Could this be the adventure she had longed for? Did this magical forest hold the wonders she had dreamed of? She looked around to make sure no one was there. The wind rustled through the leaves, whispering secrets in the branches, but there was no sound of footsteps or voices. Only the gentle buzzing of bees broke the silence. Taking a deep breath, Emma reached out, touched the cold brass knob, and pushed the door open. A wave of warmth and light washed over her as the door swung inward. But instead of finding a dark and mysterious forest on the other side, Emma gasped in amazement. Before her eyes lay a breathtaking sight that defied all expectations. Instead of a menacing forest, she found herself in a glowing clearing, filled with the soft glow of fireflies. Golden rays of sunlight streamed through the leaves of nearby trees, painting the ground in dappled patterns of light and shadow. The air buzzed with the sweet melody of singing birds, and a crystal-clear stream gurgled merrily nearby. It was as if she had stepped into a dream filled with magic and wonder. As Emma stood there in awe, a sudden rustling in the underbrush caught her attention. A small brown fox emerged, his fur glistening in the sunlight. He wore a waistcoat and a monocle, and an air of sophistication surrounded him. "Good afternoon," the fox greeted her in a surprisingly polite voice. "I do apologize for the lack of manners, but one simply doesn't expect visitors in these parts." "I'm Emma," she replied, still a bit overwhelmed by the unexpected encounter. "And how can I help you?" The fox gestured towards the path leading deeper into the woods. "I am Tick, the timekeeper of this forest, and I must say, you have shown remarkable courage by finding this place. Not many humans have the heart to stumble upon such magic." He paused, then added, "If you wish to explore further, please follow me." Emma hesitated for a moment, her mind racing with questions. Was this a dream or reality? How could talking animals exist in this world? But the adventurous spirit within her was too strong to resist. With a determined nod, she set off down the path, deeper into the woods, eager to uncover the secrets that lay ahead. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Tick explained that in this enchanted place, all the animals could talk, and each carried a little piece of magic within them. Emma's eyes widened with wonder as she imagined what other wonders this magical forest might hold. Soon, the trees began to whisper secrets in the gentle breeze, and the path led them into a sun-dappled clearing. There they met Bramble, a grumpy yet lovable hedgehog with a prickly exterior and a heart of gold. Bramble shared his wisdom with Emma, teaching her that fear wasn't something to be defeated with anger or force, but embraced with patience and understanding. Emma learned that sometimes the bravest thing one could do was to face their fears head on. From there, the path wound through a thicket of blackberry bushes and led them to a meadow filled with singing flowers. In this enchanting garden, Emma encountered Nina, a timid rabbit who couldn't find her voice. Through kindness and empathy, Emma helped Nina overcome her sadness and discover the joy of friendship and laughter. The clearing came alive with the sound of joyous giggles as Nina hopped and played with her newfound companion. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Tick led Emma to a clearing dominated by a magnificent oak tree adorned with twinkling lights. Perched on one of its sturdy branches was a majestic owl with wise eyes and enormous spectacles. Owl spoke in riddles, challenging Emma to use her imagination and think outside the box. He showed her that the boundaries of reality were malleable and that anything was possible if one dared to dream. As the sky turned a deep indigo, speckled with twinkling stars, Tick gathered Emma once more. It was time for her to return home. With a heavy heart, she bid farewell to her newfound friends, promising to return soon. As Emma stepped back through the magical door in the oak tree, she found herself in her own backyard. The familiar sights and sounds of her world seemed strangely muted after her experience in the forest. In her hand, she clutched a shimmering golden leaf that glowed faintly, a tangible reminder of her extraordinary adventure. Back in her room, surrounded by her beloved books, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the magical forest and its talking animals. She looked at the golden leaf, its glow fading into the darkness of her room. The adventure had been real as the story she loved so much. From that day forward, Emma's perspective shifted. She saw magic in the ordinary, wonder in the everyday. The forest of talking animals became her sanctuary, a place where imagination and reality intertwined. And whenever the world seemed dull or ordinary, she closed her eyes, held the golden leaf tight, and whispered, "Tick, take me home." For Emma knew that the greatest adventures were not confined to storybooks. They lived within her, waiting for her to believe, to imagine, and to dare to dream.